After 6 races out of the car, NASCAR's most popular driver, Chase Elliott, is back in NASCAR. As many of you know, back on March 3rd, Chase Elliott suffered a fractured tibia on his left leg, I believe it was, after snowboarding in Colorado. After going through rehabilitation and going through extensive therapy as well as successful surgeries to repair that leg, Chase Elliott has been medically cleared to compete this Sunday at Martinsville, and it looks like he will compete the entire race. It's not going to be a situation where he starts the race and then gives out to another driver. Looks like he's going the full way. Now, this is quite shocking. I was not expecting Chase Elliott to come back this soon. Obviously, when we're talking about a tibia, pretty serious leg injury. Now, if it was a fractured tibia and fibula, he's out for the season, kind of like Tony Stewart. But for it to be just a tibia, you would have the idea that he would be back in the car this season. I just wasn't expecting this soon. Now, if you remember the last time that a driver was out for some races due to a leg injury, won the championship. So congratulations, Chase Elliott, our 2023 champion. But on a real, it's awesome to see Chase Elliott get back in the car. And it'll be interesting to see how much of Chase Elliott would affect NASCAR in terms of how many people tune into it. As we know, ratings have been going down every single race so far in 2023, especially since Chase Elliott's injury. Remember, he got injured at race 3 of the season at Las Vegas. So he was out for virtually the entire season, all but 2 races. So would Chase Elliott returning have an effect on how many people not only show up to the racetrack, but also tune into the track? With Chase being the most popular driver, obviously there's a lot of eyeballs on him. And there have been some fans that have said on social media, if you look on that platform, that said that they don't watch racing if Chase Elliott's not in it. So we'll have to wait and see if Chase Elliott competing this time will have an impact as to the TV ratings and or the attendance for this weekend at Martinsville. Finally, let's talk about this scumbag Cody Ware. Now, Cody Ware, I know the story is kind of old, but we do have an update on this story. If you remember, Cody Ware did not compete on Sunday at the Bristol Dirt Race due to a personal matter. We know what that personal matter was, that he was arrested for charges of a felony charge of assault by strangulation and a misdemeanor charge of assault on a female. According to the police records shared by Bob Pockrass, the alleged incident occurred on April 3rd and has been classified as domestic violence, with Ware using personal weapons of hands, fists, and feet. Ware has been released from jail on a $3,000 bond, and he is due to appear in district court on May 1st. Rick Ware Racing posted a statement saying, quote, "We are aware of the incident regarding Cody Ware and his indefinite suspension from NASCAR competition. We understand NASCAR's position of this matter and accept their decision. The matter is still under investigation, and Cody is fully cooperating with the authorities as due process takes its course. RWR is committed to continuing our multi-car efforts in the NASCAR Cup Series and is in the process of finalizing our plans for the number 51 entry at Martinsville Speedway and beyond." And the driver that will be replacing Cody Ware this weekend at Martinsville will be former Truck Series champion Zane Smith, currently driving in the Truck Series for Front Row Motorsports. Now, I'm not surprised by this pick. Now, if you remember, I believe RWR has an affiliation, has a partnership with RFK Racing, and Zane Smith has driven for RFK Racing before when he replaced Chris Buescher last year after Buescher was out due to COVID. So it's not a surprise when you really think about it that Zane Smith is their pick for this weekend. Zane Smith is a really talented race car driver. We know how good he can be. We saw him how well he did in trucks, and he has some really strong runs in the Xfinity Series when he drove for Junior Motorsports. So I think this is a great option to have Zane Smith in the car. As for what would happen in the weeks after Martinsville, like Talladega, Dover, and places like that, that will be announced at a later date. Is this like, do we have an issue with the Ware brothers? Because I guess they just don't seem to know how to keep their hands off of women. Because if you remember, his brother last year, or a couple of years ago, basically had around the same charge when he was arrested and suspended by NASCAR indefinitely for a charge on beating a woman. I mean, I don't understand. Like, guys, it's not that hard to not hit a woman. Just don't do it. It's not that hard. You angry? Punch a tree. Break a pencil. I don't know, do something, but there's no need to beat up a woman. It was also quite shocking to see that of all people was Cody Ware, because even though Cody Ware, he's not a popular driver, but the fans that he does have is a very, very strong, tight fan base that he has. Even though if it's small, it's very strong, very tight. He is very prevalent in like NASCAR social media, interacting with fans and things like that. So to see Cody Ware of all people do this was quite shocking, and disappointing is not the word. It's more disgusting. More disgusted that Cody would do something like this. So yeah, screw him. He can go rot, but very happy to see Zane Smith have the opportunity to compete in the Cup Series, even if it's with a small team like Rick Ware Racing. he gets the opportunity to shine his talents on Sunday. But I must say, as a closing statement for Cody Ware, I mean, I know you don't want to jump to conclusions because some things can pop up like an Eddie DeHaan situation where it turns out he didn't commit this, but you know, if this stays as it stands, Cody Ware actually did this stuff. We don't know the exact details of it was his girlfriend or a family member, woman, or some random woman. We don't know that extensive of details just yet. But I mean, consider Cody Ware's career. I mean, he's not the most popular guy. I mean, he's racing for a small funded team. I mean, his career is basically over. It's one thing if you're a top driver, if you're a top athlete, there usually is a way out. Like, even if you have a charge like this, with your talent and your name, you're going to find a way to rebuild your career. But for a guy like Cody Ware, I mean, I understand Cody Ware is Rick Ware's son. But I don't know. I think his career is basically over the way it looks. And do I feel bad for him? Hell no. But that's it for this episode of Inside the Lines. Thank y'all so much for watching. What are your thoughts on any of the two stories I discussed? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK, and I'll see y'all next time.